Thank you, everybody, for coming in. Today is Saturday, 27 June 2020. Today, Nii Ayi of Ghana, photographer out of Ghana. I do hear a little bit of feedback on my side. Hold on, everybody, just one moment as I do a little mic check here. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Nii Ayi.
Yes, hello. This is Africa.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you also doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Great,
We're
great.
going to
Good
go
to
ahead
hear.
and ask you a series of questions. Some people in the chat may also ask you some questions that we can also bring up as well. This is being broadcast
All
both
right.
on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. And right now we have in the chat, thank you for coming in, Irina TL, Lizzie, as well as we have Sizzle Diaries out of Namibia. And other than that, let's see here. Let's get you on the screen here. All
Okay.
right, so how's Ghana today?
Ghana, it's okay. We have the weather is okay. We have some sunny day. Unfortunately, we've not been able to experience heavy rainfall. Think aside the coronavirus, everything is moving on quite okay for us here in Ghana.
Okay. So Nii Ayi, a lot of people are very interested in photography, and as well as myself. And you're a professional photographer
Okay.
out of Ghana. Now, before we get started with the questions, can you please kind of like tell everybody in the audience like where they can find you, so they can hire you for your services or check out your channel and things of that nature, your Instagram and everything like that. Would you like to go ahead and tell us?
Okay, good. Thank you. If you want to find me, I have a social media where I showcase my work, and that is Nii Ayi Visuals, on Instagram, on Facebook, and also on Twitter. That's the name that I use, Nii Ayi Visuals.
Okay.
And my contacts, my emails are also on the description box that you can get back to me.
Okay, great. Now, the first question I have for you is let everybody know is who is Nii Ayi?
Okay, Nii Ayi is just a simple guy, very humble. I'm from Ghana. I'm in Accra. I come from. I've been in Accra for the whole of my life. I have I've been to the tertiary as well. So, but aside that, being a photographer, I also do video. I do videography. I do graphic design. I'm a YouTuber as well, where I promote Ghana to the world and also talked about Africa. Um, I think there's nothing too much about me to say, but just this intro will be okay for now.
Okay, okay, great. So, what is it like to be a professional photographer in Ghana?
Okay, being a professional photographer here in Ghana, let me say, is great. It's good. There are a lot of opportunities that comes with it. You get to meet a lot of people. You make new friends. You learn also from people you meet that are, let me see, ahead of you. It's opened your mind to learn so much, and also it's quite expensive here because the things that are involved, the gadgets, the cameras, and you know, it's quite expensive because we don't manufacture them here, we don't do them here, so you have to convert into dollars to buy from US or maybe buy from Amazon online. So our money too is expensive as compared to the dollar. So I'll say being a professional photographer, aside it's been very expensive, it comes with a lot of personal experience with it being a professional photographer.
Okay, so I take it when you're importing a lot of this equipment, you have to pay like taxes.
Yes, you have to
Okay.
pay taxes. You have to. It's if it gets here, you have to go and pay also clearing. You know, there's a clearing fee aside that. Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
quite expensive. And you know, in Africa, things are not that orderly. There are too much human, let me say, system than the other way of where you just the system is there for things to work.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's good. Yeah,
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, I understand that the country needs to add to their GDP in some way, but it's a
exactly.
little expensive.
Yeah, very expensive. Very
Okay.
expensive here. Yeah. And if you're into professional photography, let me say your target audience differ from someone being an ordinary photographer because I quite remember a friend of mine, not a friend, like someone I know of, lost a job because the price he charged, the clients were thinking that comparing to the prices charged, he won't be able to do that work. And let me say, this person was charging, let's say, something around, let me say, $1,500. They were expecting him to charge more than that, but he lost the job. So it depends on the people you relate with as your target audience, and that is one of the things that might also help you to also carry your brand, which is very important.
Okay. Okay. So with your introduction, I was going to ask you, what services do you offer with your photography business? Was there anything you didn't cover in the intro, or did you cover everything?
No, I think I didn't cover everything. Okay, so because a photographer and also I do YouTube, that a lot of people know me from YouTube. Some people also get in touch to hire my service to be to help them in, let me say, tour guide. Aside that, they take me around to do photo shoots in case they want to visit places in Ghana. I do that. Aside that one too, we do how do you call it, frames. We do
Okay.
portraits as well. There are people who also like to frame their pictures to hang in their room. I I quite if someone also need it outside Ghana, it's also possible where I can do it depending on the kind of service the person wants. And
Okay.
aside that, we also train people who want to learn photography, and which I think it can be done even not necessarily meeting the person one on one, which can be also done online. So I think, yeah,
Okay. Okay. Great. Um, I also like to say thank you for coming in. We have African New TV that just came in. Appreciate your presence.
Oh, okay.
I do
Oh.
still hear a little feedback on my voice on the other side. Um, Let me see here.
Is it
So next
okay?
question is when did you get interested in photography?
Wow. Okay. I At first my interest wasn't in photography, even if I could recall back in my childhood. Anytime I see a camera, I run away. So my parents were so surprised to now see me being a photographer. So it all started when I got to, should I say college? Here we call it secondary school. So that is where I developed the love for pictures. So I quite remember back then I contacted my boss then. By then he wasn't my boss, he was a family friend. So I told him that I want to buy a camera to take pictures of myself because I love to shoot pictures of myself. And when you take it in school, it's that expensive. So if I get a camera myself, I will be able to shoot as many as I want. So I spoke to him. We gave him some money, went to Accra, and then we bought some camera, and I left for school. So that was, I think, 2003 there by then. Yeah. So in school, I was taking pictures of myself because I always love to freeze moments. I always love to capture moments down so that years later I could reflect back what had happened. So that is how I started shooting pictures of myself. But the most interesting thing is some of my classmates also loved me to shoot them the pictures, like take some of the pictures and also print it for them. And I was doing that for free, but it got to a time I was like, no, I can't use my own money to buy camera, use my own money to buy film, and then take pictures of myself. So I decided to use my own money to buy camera,
Okay, I'm not able to hear you
use
right
my
now.
own money to
There's no
buy
audio. Hold on one second here. Okay, try unmuting your mic.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so where did I go to?
You were about halfway through, like what got you interested in photography?
Okay, so like as I said, my boss by then was a family friend, got me a camera. I go to school, and I was saying that I'm I'm a type of person. I always love to capture moments down. I love to freeze moment and also take pictures of myself so that years later I could reflect back how I was like and how things were like around me. So I started taking pictures of myself. My friends also got interested, which they love me to take them pictures. So it got to a time I was like, I can't use my money to buy a camera, use my money to buy film, and be taking you pictures for free. So you have to pay for the printing fee. They started paying for the printing fee, and I decided, okay, now if you want me to print it for you, then you have to pay for my TNT to be able to go in. So it was okay, and I realized, okay, with this thing, since people are interested and they love taking pictures, why don't I add something small to it so that I could be able to get the printing fee from it, I could get transportation from it, and also get something small for my time. And that is all. That's how it all started, and I started taking pictures. So I finished tertiary in 2013, 14 there, that I decided to start photography professionally and also invest big time into it. So I'll say officially I started photography somewhere around 2004, but professionally I started in 2013. So now.
Okay, great, great. So, can you tell us, like, what is one of your most memorable photographic moments?
Okay. Wow. I have so many of them, but one of the most memorable photography moments, I think, one aside, I love doing street photography. Okay, I love to do documentary photography. So I remember one day I was in the house and I took my camera and decided just to walk, go out and look for images to shoot on the street. So I ended being at the seaside, I would call it, at the beach. Okay.
Hmm.
So at the beach, I saw these two little boys playing with a little crafted canoe that they created themselves. You know, they use mock tin to craft canoes that they are able to put it on the water for it to flow. So looking at what they were doing and from the angle which I was, I just took a test picture, and by then it was sunset. So I was able to get a silhouette of these two children playing with the canoe and having a sunset, making the picture more of a silhouette, got me so amazed. And I was like, okay, I think let me position myself well and take this picture. And the picture was so nice to the extent that I frame it, and now I even sell it to people. Then people put it in their room, their offices, and in places. And I let me I'll say that is one of my most memorable um, moments that I've captured a photo. Aside that, I have so many of them, but I will talk about this one for now.
So you reproduce past works.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I reproduce, but yeah, I do that as well.
Okay, great, great. What are some of your favorite things to photograph and why?
Come again.
What are some of your favorite things to photograph and why?
Okay, I think one of them it's weddings. I have been shooting a lot of weddings. I've shot. I started shooting weddings. I think I started as a wedding photographer professionally with my boss. And one thing I liked about wedding photography is that you tend to see the joy and the happiness on people's faces. Like everything around you is a sign of happiness. There's some kind of joy, and being able to freeze these moments of people around the bride and also the bride going through that wonderful day, it brings so much joy to me, which I can do that for every blessed day. I don't mind shooting a wedding every day. I don't think I'll be tired shooting weddings. And looking at the pictures, seeing two people coming together to start life, and it really portray the true love. You know, it's not everyone who understand love, but for my photography has given me the chance and the opportunity to be around people to feel what is real love. And secondly, I'll say I also love to do more of street photography because day in day out, environments keep changing, things start to change around us. So being able to freeze a particular picture or moment of a time, which later years you could reflect that okay, this is how this place was. If I have a son, and let me say 20 years from now, after 20 years, I want to show my son how Accra looked like 20 years back. I have nothing to show to them. So if I'm able to capture people in Accra, buildings, like how life is in Accra, at least I'll be able to give them a perfect picture of things that happened before they were born. So these are two things I think I can talk about.
Okay. Um, in today's world of oversaturated images uploaded every day on the internet, how
Mhm.
necessary is the photographer?
Okay. I think it's important for photography, the photographers to still be in existence. It's a skill. It's a skill that we've acquired. It's something that we've trained ourselves. There are so many things to learn when it comes to photography. Okay, how to composition your pictures, how to set your lighting, how to position your subject, how to pose when it comes to editing. There are so many things. Okay, so I think although there are a lot of pictures that are coming, like they are being posted online, but it cannot be compared as to that of the work of a photographer because you will definitely need a photographer if you are doing wedding. Okay, you can't shoot yourself. Let me say maybe you have an event or you want to go out with your family. How will you be able to concentrate and take pictures at the same time having fun with your family? But imagine a photographer being there, being able to capture the moment together with you in the picture. It's so beautiful. So to me, I'll say, okay, let me say this is what I can say about the question that you asked. Yeah, I don't know if I've been able to answer your question clearly.
No, you answered it quite clear.
Oh, okay, okay, all right. I'm grateful.
uh, the Kumba guy just came in. Thank you for joining us from Zambia.
Okay.
Okay, so Nii Ayi, I'm still hearing feedback on my voice. Is that other device on?
No, it's off. It's off totally.
Okay, we'll
It's
just
off
have to
totally.
work through it.
All right.
Okay, so my next question for you is, what do you hope people will take away from seeing your photos?
What I hope people will take away from my photos. Hmm. I think I'm being able to tell stories with my pictures, and um, I can't really say much, but I think if you come across my works, there's something you love about my pictures. And one thing I always tell people is that if I'm taking pictures, I need to take the picture. So if I take This is Africa a picture and I'm able to edit it and post it online or anywhere, if you see This is Africa in real life, there shouldn't be any difference between the picture that I took and the person that I took of the picture. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yes, sir.
Yes, there are so many style of editing when it comes to pictures. I really respect photographers and how they work and how they edit their pictures, but I believe so strongly that a picture shouldn't be different from the person in real life. So in case, let me say, if you come across my pictures, these are one of the things you can really notice or identify in my work. I don't really manipulate too much of my work. I love it to be natural as it is.
Okay. I'm gonna
I'm
show some of your work on the screen here.
Okay.
And
Oh wow. This picture.
that was a while back,
This
right?
picture. Yes, this picture. Actually, I took this picture for free for this guy. He never came back. I don't know. Maybe he misplaced my contact. I went to a graduation in one of the universities in Ghana. And then I think I was passing and I saw him taking pictures with his friends. And I was like, wow, from the angle at which I was standing, I loved the picture and I loved the story about it. So I quickly took a picture of it. And when I was done, I got closer to him and I said, okay, I don't know you, but I'm just doing this for you for free. This is the picture I was able to take about it. And they were so happy, and I gave them my number. And I don't remember if they came for the picture or so. So I posted it on my page and asked anyone who know them to tag them the picture. So I remember this picture so well. I think it's about 3, 4 years ago or so. Yeah. That's my
Okay.
old logo that I was using.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
could tell. Actually, I like
Mhm.
it too.
Yeah.
So I'd like
Okay.
to give a shout out to Shatuan that came in, as well as Wild Gossip Uganda. Thank you for coming in. All right, so we got
Oh,
the
okay. I see. Africa Wolf King.
oh yeah, Africa Wolf King.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm going to be interviewing Africa Wolf King next Saturday.
Oh yes, I saw his poster. I'll be around.
Yeah, he actually got showed a part of one of his videos on a like a 10-second piece or something. Got put
Oh,
on
okay.
Google Africa,
Wow.
so it's promoted and it's had like way over 100,000 views already.
Yeah. Wow.
So
Nice. Nice. Beautiful.
so here's some everybody looking at Nii Ayi's work here, playing a few slides. This is over the years. Definitely check out all his information. His contact information is in the description
Oh,
box
that.
below.
This is where I shot with the Maya in mystery.
Yeah, that one's going to come up.
Wow. Yes. And one thing, I love photography. I love sports photography. Okay, so this is my brother.
That's your brother.
This picture, yeah, the one who the previous video before this.
Okay.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's what they were when I shot them. So this picture was actually the guy in a car and the lady taking number. It's not just it's a story picture that I told of a pre-wedding of one couple who. So they wanted me to do a pre-wedding for them.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked them, okay, so if you want me to shoot your pre-wedding, do you have anything in mind? And they were like, no. So I said, okay, so how did the two of you meet before you started your relationship? And the guy was like, oh, okay, I met the lady in a car and I paid for her transport, and that's where the friendship started. So I said, okay, since we can't get a public transport to do that, let's use your car. So if you follow this picture on my page, you see that the lady was walking, coming. The guy spotted him in his mirror, and then the lady got there, called the lady, started a chat with her. They exchanged number. The next thing, he opened the door and gave the lady a lift. So that's the story behind this picture.
That's kind of like a role play.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So let's go back to the next photo. We got what am I?
Okay. Yeah. What am I? Yes.
Like, what's the story behind this photo?
Okay. So the story behind this photo was I remember the day I went there with Miss Trudy and Wodemaya to shoot, and I was like, okay, Wodemaya, since you're a Ghanaian and you are carrying Africa to the world, you know, Black Star, we say this place, Black Star is the gateway to Africa. So since he is carrying Africa to the world and he's a Ghanaian, let me take him a picture at the place where we call Gateway to Africa, so that it will be meaningful and memorable for the work that he's doing. So I made him jump up. I think we did like 3 times of it or 4 times. And for him to jump as if he's holding the star and projecting it. So that is how come we got this picture. And I really love it so much.
Right on. I remember watching the video and you were like super excited when you're looking through the view. And you're like rolling back on the floor. I was like, what's that about? And then, it was pretty dope. It's pretty dope.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Okay, so
All right.
let's talk equipment here. Like, what brand of camera or cameras do you use and why?
Okay, I think I chose to stay with Canon brand. Canon hasn't paid me to promote them, but I think it is a personal preference for every photographer to choose the kind of camera you are.
Okay, we lost your audio. Just lost the audio right now. Still no audio yet. Try unplugging and plugging back in your headphone. All right, so it looks like Nii Ayi is having a little bit of technical difficulties at this point. Nii Ayi, also your video has froze. Okay, so while he's getting that figured out, again, we have African Wolf King that's in the chat. He, like I said before, for those that are just coming in, I just saw a new person come in. He actually has been featured on Google Africa for Africa Day in May. And so he's got a short stint in there for like maybe 10 seconds. It's a 1 minute video. If you look at one of the latest videos, if you just type in Google Africa, you'll see him and you say, I'm on top of Africa. So that's him. He also worked with Woda Maya when Woda Maya toured in Tanzania. So that's where he's from, is Tanzania. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, Nii Ayi, you're back.
Yes, can you hear me clear now?
Yes, you're in here twice, so let me remove you on one of them here. All right, go ahead. So I was asking you the question, what brand of camera or cameras do you use and why?
Okay, I started with Nikon camera, but as time goes on, I switched from Nikon to Canon because I found Canon to be more easier and a brand that I could relate with. Two, I chose anyway. Canon hasn't paid me, and not that I'm promoting them, but I'm sharing my experience with Canon. So two, I chose Canon because their lenses are much easier and accessible to get here in my country. In terms of their equipment, the accessories, the lenses, uh, anything about Canon is much more easier and easy to get access to as compared to other brands. Okay, so that is why I started using Canon, and I love it so much that I find it difficult switching from other camera. Other people are convincing me and telling me, but it's a personal preference. So far as you are good with the kind of camera brand you have and you can do your work easily and your clients are happy, I think that's the key. So that is the reason why I chose Canon, and I'm able to buy it and ship it here some way somehow. So that is why I chose Canon camera, and I'm planning to get a new one that is being released.
Okay.
Mirrorless, yeah.
I used to sell cameras, so yeah, the majority of what was stocked in the store, as well as the people buying, was Canon, mail order as well as walk-in. So my next question for you is, like, when you're out on a job, or even for a hobby shooting, what equipment is a must-have no matter where you are going to be working? What is a must-have that you must have with you all the time?
I don't get you. Can you come again?
Okay, what equipment that you use is a must-have that you have to have with you all the time when you're working?
Okay. If I get you right, so you want to know the kind of like the camera I have on me exactly. anytime I'm working.
Yes. And any equipment
Okay.
that you use to go with it.
Okay. So I think it depends on the kind of it depends on the situation, or let me say the kind of events. But normally, if I'm shooting events, I go with a camera. I go with some lenses, different types of lenses depending on the kind of shots I'll shoot. But let's say maybe if you are a vlogger, I would say if you have a camera, you need to have, let's say, maybe a smaller camera along, or a very good quality phone on you in case maybe um, if you're a vlogger, in case you get somewhere and cameras are not allowed, you can use your phone. But for me, most of the times, um, I use my phone as a backup with me because anything can happen. So normally when I'm going for events, I don't use only one camera. I go with two cameras. I
Okay.
go with two cameras because it's a gadget, it's an electronic gadget. Anything can happen. A camera can fail you, a lens can fail you, and anything can happen there. So I always carry a backup camera, and also the next backup that I use to support is my phone because uh, if I'm able to, in case the camera goes off or I have an issue with it, I use my phone, and when I bring it home, I'm able to edit it, and I feel like it's better than not getting the images at all.
I get you.
So that is what, yeah, that's what I can say.
Okay, so I'd like to give a shout out to Asmal Zakari. She just came in. Thank you for being here, as well as
Okay,
anybody in the chat. If you have any photography questions you'd like to inquire with Nii Ayi while he's here, go ahead and put that in the chat so I can put it up on the screen and he'll answer your questions for you. So my next question for you right
okay.
now is, what professional photographers have influenced your work, and how do you incorporate their techniques into your photographs?
Okay, I will say I have a number of them who actually helped me in my journey. I think one guy was called Kwesiche. I don't know. He was a student of NAFTI, and by then when I was in photography, he was helping me to uh, gain admission in NAFTI, which I got. But unfortunately, for one or two reasons, they delayed my admission, so I have to apply to other school and then continue on. And aside that, there's this guy who worked with a photography company called Team Thousand Words. I think I have two people there. His name is called Charles Adama. Okay, um, this Charles guy was someone who mentored me when it comes to lightning in photography. So he was the main man who actually made me understood how lightning works when it comes to photography. And it has really helped me so much because I can shoot pictures indoor without flash because I understand lightning and how to operate my camera. And also another one guy who has inspired me is also from the same company called Timothy Ade. Um, he is so awesome. He's a good brother. Aside photography, he teaches me other stuff. He's a married man. He has a kid, so he talked to me on general issues aside photography, or let me say, outside photography. So these are the people I'll say, and one of my little brother, or who is called um, um Daniel. For him, he was the guy who really challenged me enough to do more because I started photography and videography way back before he joined the game. But from what he was doing and the things he was showing me, he inspired me to learn more and also go ahead of my game.
So
So
your
this is what,
brother is also a photographer.
yes, yes. But he has now switched into more video. He does music videos a whole lot of stuff when it comes to video.
Okay. Okay. We do have one question. We have Nii and AJ. But before I bring up that
Oh,
question,
me and
well,
AJ, welcome, welcome. He's
uh,
my boss.
oh, okay, okay. We also have Spunky Porsches. Thank you for coming in. We also have Mr. Mzunguzi from Uganda. Thank you for coming in.
Okay.
We have Essence TJTV. Thank you as well for coming in. So it looks like Nii and AJ is asking raw or auto and why.
Raw or auto, and why? Okay, I normally I shoot manually. I shoot manual, and I choose to go for raw because with raw you have the ability to play with your colors in details than let me say JPEG. Okay, and with raw you are able to have, how will I say it? I want a way to put it so simple. It's like with the raw, you can work with your image to be able to get the details and the colors in it. And I will shoot manual and not auto because with auto, the camera is able to determine the settings for you based on the environment or the situation in which you are. But with manual, you are able to set it according to how you want it because every photographer has his own preference. And before you be able to shoot manual, you need to know your camera, you need to know your settings, you need to understand lighting very well before you can shoot manual. I don't know, Nii and AJ. I hope I've been able to answer your question well. If not, you can still ask.
Okay, I also like to say welcome to Imam. Thank you for coming in. So my next question for
Okay.
you. Um, so we got down to a couple questions on equipment and who influenced you.
Okay.
Uh, and you said a little bit about school, but do you have any formal training as a photographer, and have you worked in a professional studio before?
Okay. I haven't been able to gain any formal education when it comes to photography, or let me say, I didn't attend any photography school or something like that. I learned everything through people who mentored me and also on YouTube. Yeah,
Mm,
and
okay.
also by practicing every day. So I
Oh,
have no formal education when it comes to photography, but I still
so
feel like I still have more to learn.
okay, so you relied on YouTube mainly for your education on photography, correct?
Yes, but from the beginning, I had people who mentored me,
Uh-huh.
who taught me before I started using YouTube. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. I was about to say, Nii Ayi, you're like I forget the gentleman's name in Kenya, but he learned everything on YouTube to throw the javelin, and he became a world record holder. I forget the guy's name,
Oh,
but they call him the YouTube guy. But
okay. I
yeah,
refer YouTube to be the World University. You can learn everything there.
exactly.
Yeah.
Uh, so we do have a question here from Essence TJTV. She's asking about tutorials. Do you offer any tutorials on any of your channels?
Okay. I plan doing tutorials on my channel, but the reason why I haven't started that is I know some colleagues who are doing that, and also because my focus is more on my other YouTube channel where I promote Ghana, so I haven't started doing tutorials on my channel. On my other channel where I put my works and videos over there. But in case someone want to learn or something, I do one-on-one teachings. You get in touch, and then we carry it from there. I think that's what I'll say.
Okay, in essence, all his contact information I had already put down in the description box. So make sure you get a hold of him for any information that you need that he's going to help you out with. We have another question from Mr. Mzunguzi out of Uganda. He's asking, what camera would you
Yeah,
recommend for someone
I
starting in
know him.
photography? Okay. Starting
Mhm.
photography with the intention of becoming professional.
Okay. For this question, what I will say is first, you need to consider your budget before knowing the type of camera you're going in for. Two, you need to know the genre of photography you want to do because if you are able to know where exactly you want to practice your photography, it will also determine the kind of equipment that you need. Let's say maybe if you want to go in for portraits, you can get, there are things that you need to get. But the first thing to consider is your budget. If you have the means, you can start with a full frame camera. If you have the money, you have the budgets and everything, you can start with full frame camera. But if you don't have the money, you can start with the level entry cameras and get some a prime lens and start practicing with it. So I would say I won't mention a specific camera, but what I would say is consider your budget first, and also two, consider the type of photography you are going to do. Then you can determine, or I can recommend a camera. But I think you will need a level entry camera and then also a prime lens to be able to practice your photographing skills. And as time goes on, then you keep advancing. Because for me, for instance, I quite remember my first digital camera. You know, when I started photography, we were shooting in film. We were shooting in film. So we had this Sony and Fuji. So you have to take a picture. You, if you're not careful, you can spoil everything, all your shots. So we have to learn things manually off head and keep your shutter ISO and everything, shutter speed, ISO, and aperture and everything in your head, and know exactly when to apply them. But for digital, when digital came, the first camera I bought was Nikon uh, D40, and from then I advanced from Nikon D40 to Nikon 5300, and from then I bought a Canon 60D. And as time goes on, when I got the money, and I then bought a full frame camera, which is the 6D, and also bought other lenses. So that is how I started my journey. So to advise someone who is considering to start a photography, you first need to consider your budget, as I said earlier. I hope I have answered his question well. If not,
Okay.
he can still ask.
He'll let you know.
Yeah.
So we got another question
Okay.
from Essence TJ TV. She's saying, I have a camera M50. I'm still struggling to operate it in a professional manner.
Okay. M50, it's a quite good camera. I know of a friend who uses M50 and he uses it for street photography. But if you're having difficulties, for now, what I can recommend for you is to get a lot of tutorials on YouTube where you can know exactly how to operate it well and get to know about the camera well. I think YouTube can also help you out, like as I said. So just there are a lot of tutorials on that. Just key in on YouTube and you'll get videos that will help you slightly understand the camera. I hope I answered you. You are okay with my answer.
Well, with Mr. Zaguzi, he said you answered him well. And I'd also like to shout out
Okay.
Lydia. Thank you, Lydia, for coming in. So
Oh, okay.
my next question for you is about software. Like, what type of editing software do you like to use for your photographs, and why do you? What is it that you like about it?
Okay. I think at first I wasn't editing my pictures. You know, in those days I wasn't editing my picture. what we do is we take the picture, and at the lab where we print the pictures, there is an editor there who edits it. But it got to a time I realized the way they edit my picture, they smoothen the picture too much, and the picture turned out to look fake. Just like I said earlier previously, that I always love my pictures to be as in the person in real time. So then I started to look out for the means where I can start my editing software. And it was this my brother who called Daniel, introduced I think Lightroom to me. But I did a little bit of graphic designing way back in school. So by then I was using CorelDRAW and Photoshop. So because I started using Lightroom to edit my pictures, I combined Lightroom and also with Photoshop. So I started a process and a basic editing with Lightroom, Adobe Lightroom, and then I end editing. I take them finally to edit at how do you call it? Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop. So these are the two main softwares that I use. But aside that, there are other softwares like the Capture One, which I think a lot of people are now using it these days to do their work. And there are so many other software, but these are the two that I use to edit my video: Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Lightroom.
Okay. So,
Mhm.
what details do you believe make the best photographs, and how do you go about focusing on them in your work?
Come again, I don't really get you.
What are the details within the photos, okay, that you make, like for your best photographs, and how do you focus on those details in your work? Like, how do you make them, I guess, resonate with the people who's looking at them?
Okay, one, you need to get your picture very simple and sharp, because I don't think anyone will be uh, interested in a picture which is not very sharp but blurry, or just like a normal picture. Okay, so I think in taking pictures, one of the things that I consider is one to have a good photo, which is very good as in sharpness. Second, I also consider my composition and framing. You know, these are kind of little details in photography that when you pay attention to, your picture comes out in a way that people can relate with it. So, as a photographer, you need to know your composition, you need to know your lighting, you need to know how to get a sharp picture, and also getting a sharp picture also comes at the kind of lenses that you use, and also I think being able to pose or position your subjects so well in your frame.
Okay, we have
I
a
hope
question.
I said it well.
Yes, yes, very well. Um, the
Okay.
Kumba guy has a question for you. Do you use the same camera for photos and videos? Does it matter to have one dedicated? Uh, what is it? Does it matter to
Okay.
have a dedicated one for each?
Okay. So yes, it's possible to use the same camera. You can use for both videos and pictures. Okay. So a camera like Canon 60D has both. You can use it both for pictures and video. But some of the cameras, if you want to use it for both video and pictures, might not be advisable depending on the kind of video you want to take. So let me set example. If you are using Canon 7D, okay, Canon 7D is more advanced than the Canon 60D, okay. But the advantage of the 60D is that it can record for long and the camera will be okay. But a camera like the 7D takes video for some time, and as long as you continue to shoot, the camera gets heated and it will automatically shut down. So that's why I'm saying it depends on the kind of video you want to take. Yes, you can get another camera for both, but because of budget, I think it's better you go in for one camera that can do both pictures at the same time, because another time you might need it for video, another time you might need it for pictures. But if you are going to do both video and pictures at the same time, then it's advisable for you to get a separate camera for video and separate camera for pictures, because one person has to handle pictures and another person has to handle the video. So yes, it's possible you can get one camera, but depending on your budget. Yeah.
Okay, so Lydia doesn't have any questions, but she does say, I don't have any
Oh,
questions.
Lydia.
I just want to say I admire your work and keep being you.
Oh, Lydia, thank you so much, my sister. We'll meet, okay?
Okay, so the next question I have for you, like, how do you use your social media accounts, and how has your social media helped you gain new clients?
Okay. When it comes to when it comes to promoting my work on social media, I would say I haven't been that good at that, because I don't boost my my posts. I don't promote them so much. I was actually, the mindset I had for social media by then was to use it as like as a backup for a website, since I don't have a website now. So in case maybe a client calls you, okay, me, I want you to shoot for me. Can I see some of your work? Oh, okay, I have my pictures on Instagram. Can you just go there and see my work? So I wasn't promoting it, but one or twice, I think I've gotten some clients from Instagram, but not as much as to reference, because most of my clients are based on reference from clients that I've worked with. So I think that is how, but I need to improve upon that too.
Okay, so outside of social media, how do you gain clients?
Okay, mostly I gain clients by referrals, because based on how I relate with clients that come, how I'm able to treat them, how I'm able to talk to them, and the kind of work and service that I render to them, um, make them like me to the extent that they end up referring me to their friends and other people they know. Or if someone needs the service of a photographer, they just tell me, Nee, okay, this guy is looking for someone to shoot their wedding, blah blah. I'm recommending you to them, and they get in touch. And here in Ghana, one of the most important thing when it comes to recommendation is like, someone will not love to recommend something they don't know, or something they don't really use the service of the person. So there's power in recommendation, or let me say referrals. So people take referrals very serious here when it comes to Ghana, and that is how I get most of my clients.
That's good to know. Um, so we have another question for you from Essence TJTV. She's asking, Canon M50 good in photography?
Yes, it's good in photography. I don't really know much about the M50, but what I know is yes, it's good. But I don't really know, like, have enough knowledge about it, because I haven't used M50 before. I have a friend who used it and was telling me about the M50. But yes, it's good for photography. You can use it to take pictures, and it can take really nice pictures. I don't know. I don't want to say something that I don't know, but I don't know if it's possible you can use it professionally. Yes, you can use it. It depends on how you. That's why I'm saying you need to master your camera. Okay, if you have a camera, the best thing you can do is master your camera. Use your camera. Make sure you go into it, exploit the camera, and know the camera well. And I trust you. Trust me, you'll be able to take pictures that you don't really know you could do with your camera, because it's all about knowing your camera. If you're able to know your camera well with the settings,
things, you take good pictures. Yes, it's possible you can use it to take good pictures.
Okay. So next
Yeah.
question I have for you is when a client wants to hire you, how do you know when to accept or decline their offer?
Okay. One thing I consider when a client wants to hire my service, I first talk to them on phone. I ask them exactly what they need, and also I go ahead to ask them what are they expecting from me to do for them. It's asking maybe they have anything in mind. If they don't, then I bring my suggestions and ideas on board. But sometimes one of the things I always avoid in my life as a photographer is if I see people to be very difficult, I can see from the first go, yeah, like the onset, the first time I get to meet them. And it's not every work that I accept because if the work is not in my lane or it's not in my line with my photography, I decline those kind of photography. For example, I don't do nude photography. Okay, I don't do nude photography. So if you call me for a nude photography, um, I won't accept it. Maybe I might tell you should try somewhere else. Maybe at first I wasn't doing funerals because I didn't like one or two things there. But recently I started accepting shooting funerals because I find out that a lot of people find it difficult getting photographers to shoot funeral for them. And my first boss took me on the journey of shooting more funerals, so I'm used to funerals. But just that I wanted to just leave it for now. So I hope I've answered your question. So
Yes, sir. So well, it's
me
it's
and
always
AJ.
it's always good to know that because I mean I can only imagine somebody wanting to break into this type of business because they have a passion for it. They're going to want to know
Yeah,
things like what should they accept, what should they decline, and so I think that's very important. It's just like anything, you know what to accept and what to decline on just about anything
yeah,
in life. So yeah, I think
exactly.
that's a very important answer that you gave. In the funeral one, is interesting, but you really don't have to elaborate on that. Um,
Yeah.
now, Nee and AJ has another question. Are you still with McBrown's Kitchen Crew?
Yes, yes, I'm still with them. Yes, but I normally don't talk about it because I don't want people to know because she's a big star in Ghana here, and the pressure it comes with. I normally don't let people. So pictures I have with her, or maybe working on the production on set and stuff, I don't show them because the pressure it comes with. This is Africa, trust me. Me and AJ, I can't handle that pressure. So I normally don't make noise about me working with my ground or letting people. Last week, can you imagine last week? Can you imagine last week? I got a call from US. Someone had wanted to speak to my ground, and the person called my line, and I don't know how they got my number. So that is the pressure that it comes with when people get to know that you work with a favorite celebrity here in Ghana. So me and AJ, I think this is why I don't make so much. Yes, I'm still working with them, but we are on break because of the COVID-19, but we are back with some episodes. I think so far we shot one episode. Yeah.
So just to let you know, we got some Facebook love because we are broadcasting on Facebook at the same time as YouTube. We got Michael
Okay.
Kunke that gave us that
Hey,
love
Mike.
from.
Yes, 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 yes. I remember.
Okay, so we have another question for you from the chat. We have, I think it's Kafui Praise Films.
Happy praise.
Okay, so how
This
do
is
you
Africa.
buy? Go ahead, go ahead. You're
That is
laughing for a
Matilda.
reason.
Yes, sir. Okay, so okay, so how I buy my equipment and ship them down recently. Okay, so I have a special person in my life. Let me say my wife. She deals with
You're married.
stuff like that. Yes, I'm married.
Oh, you didn't let us know. I saw the ring, but you didn't let us know. Sorry to interrupt, but go
Oh,
ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I think if you remember, previously I did a video of introducing my wife to be on my
Yes.
channel to my people. Yes. So actually yesterday I was supposed to introduce her officially again on my channel, but because of work and stuff, we couldn't get time to do that. But I'll do that very soon on my channel. She's just a lovely person, and I'm so glad I got her in my life. She's very supportive. She has so many ideas. She's also into photography, does documentary and filmmaking, and trust me, she's a woman to have by your side. So she now has a business where she ship gadgets like that. So if I want to buy anything, I just give it to her, and then she buys it and ship them down here.
Well, congratulations, and thank you for
Thank
breaking
you
the
so
news
much.
on This Is Africa. Um,
I think
but
officially on your channel for the first time.
well, without detracting from Kafui's question, so if you want to
Okay.
finish that answer, go ahead. Sorry to
Okay.
interrupt.
So so if people want to know how I buy and ship my stuff down here recently, um, my wife is the one who does that for me, and she also buys for other photographers here in Ghana. People also order from her, and that's the she will do a good job. So that's all that I can say for now.
All right. So T Vlogs, thank you for coming in.
All
We
right.
appreciate. So we have another question from African Wolf King. I don't know if you can see the question on the screen.
Yes, yes. Okay. My huge goal of being an African photographer. Okay. So I, you know, I always love to promote Africa to the world in everything that I do. So um, the main goal is to be able to be recognized as a photographer on the continent of Africa, where I'll be traveling from countries to countries to shoot weddings and also shoot pictures. I love weddings. I don't know why, but I think I love weddings so much that I don't mind extending my service outside Ghana if anyone needs my target, needs my service. And one of the things that I do mostly to project myself as an African is one how I appear in programs. So I normally wear attire or things that will portray to at least sell Africa some way or the other. Yeah. So that's what I can
Okay.
say.
Okay.
Wolfkin, I think I hope I answer your question.
So Arena TL's got a great comment there. It's not a question, but it's a great comment.
Okay.
And let's see here. T Vlogs says hello to everyone. So
Yes, yes, yes. People keep on saying that, but we are yet to see what our kids will also come with.
so all your children are going to have little point and shoots when they start out, right?
Actually, yeah, sure, sure, sure.
Little
Because there will be
Canon point and
cameras
shoots.
around in the house, so yeah.
Okay, so let's see. The next question I have for you is if you could offer any advice to an up and coming photographer, what would that be?
Wow, that's a good question. One there. I think one advice I would love to give to an up and coming photographer is one, work hard, to always learn every day. Three, try to get a mentor to mentor you. If you can be on your own to learn and then be a great photographer, fine. But for me, I would say try to get someone to mentor you. Find someone who is ahead of you in a game to be able to train you and nurture you. And when you are done, make sure you serve that person well. And also respect every person that comes your way. You
Hmm.
might not know today. Respect every single person. don't ever belittle anyone that comes or come across your path because you might not know tomorrow. And also, the last thing that I'll add to it is that don't ever be ungrateful to the people that help you to get to the top. You know, in life, we get people in our life who pushes us, who trains us, who love to see us being a better person in future. But you know, in life, sometimes there will be conflicts, there will be quarrels and minor things in our life. But don't ever forget the good things these people have contributed in your life. Just forgive them and then still continue your relationship with them and have some kind of respect for the people that come your way. I think that is what I can say.
All right, I'd like to welcome Voclam for coming in. Thank you, Voclam, for being here.
Welcome everybody.
And Emma256 Fitness just came in from Uganda. Voclam's from Nigeria.
Okay.
Thank you
Wow.
both for coming in. So Arena TL has a question for you on the screen. What do you think you
Yes.
missed? Yeah.
I say so. What do you think you missed doing in the early days of your photography that may still lags you behind? Whoa. Okay. So I'll say, let me think about this question. I think what I missed was I didn't have enough of knowledge about photography. So I was doing a lot of try and errors. And I was like, okay, because if the time I started photography, if I'd gotten a mentor and if I've entered into photography professionally early, um, things could have been different now. So I think lack of knowledge and also lack of mentorship was one of the key things that I lacked when I started photography. I hope I answered the question well.
If you did not, she'll let you know. Trust me.
All right, all right, all right. So that's it. All right. Okay.
So we also have a lifestyle by Nuriki. I hope I pronounced that right.
Yeah. Hello. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Welcome. Okay.
All right. So my next question for you is like, when did you start and why did you start YouTube?
Whoa. Okay. I think I started YouTube a year ago. I started YouTube a year ago, and I'd wanted to start YouTube long time ago, long time ago, because I created my YouTube channel. I think in 2012. Yeah, 2012. But I was so shy to be in front of the camera. I was so shy to be in front of the camera. So I was looking for someone who would be in front of the camera that I would shoot, and I would direct the person on the kind of stories that we do. So I think so. I started doing that because I wanted to document stuff around me. I wanted to show people the things around me, and also to be able to capture things around me, so that in future I'll be able to see how things have changed so far, and also how I have changed myself as well, like how I started. So I started doing that because I was shy enough not to be in front of the camera. I started doing it in pictures, where that is where I developed the love for street photography. So I go out there, I say things, I want to tell a story about it. I capture them and then post them on my Instagram page, my documentary Instagram page, um, which is called it's on Instagram. You can check it. Nii Ayi visuals underscore doc. That is DOC. Yeah. So that's why I post my stuff on. So YouTube came in finally when I met Wademaya,
Okay.
because I'd wanted to meet Wademaya because I'm a videographer as well. When I started watching him from China, and I decided, okay, this dude is doing something good. How can I support him? How can I push him? So I was like, okay, I would love to shoot his videos for him, anytime he comes to Ghana. So I tried getting in touch for him with several times. I couldn't. So the day I got the chance to meet him, and then when I met him in our talk, I told him this is what I wanted to do, and this is what I've been doing for now, and this is why I met you, and this is what I want to do for you. And in our chat, I told him that okay, I got opportunity to travel to Burkina Faso to shoot a wedding. So we got the chance to go outside Ghana to shoot a wedding. And in Burkina Faso, we were arrested.
Oh,
And why were we arrested? Yes, we were arrested because the people saw cameras and then they suspected us to be terrorists. And a citizen called the police and they came with guns, the military. We were just only two people, me and my other friend. He's the photographer for Mark Brown. So we were arrested. We were put behind bars for like 5 hours. So I was telling him the story and the experience, and it was like, okay, he has been saying that he always gets arrested when he travels to African countries, and people don't believe him, blah blah. So am I willing to share my story? I was like, no, why not? I'm also a YouTuber, so I'm willing to, and that is where it started. And he featured me on his channel, and then people came to my channel to see what I have there. And because I wanted to show the people what I can do, I started shooting and shooting. And today we are here, and I'm now a Ghanaian YouTuber. So that's how I started YouTube.
that's quite a different story than most others. Um,
Yes.
I'm glad you got through that. I'm gonna segue to saying hello and welcome, cooking with Didi as well as Sharon and the family. Thank you very much. Back to that though, Burkina Faso. So
Hmm.
he said any African country, but um, does it seem to be like in the country of Burkina Faso? Is that a habit in that country for people to be arrested, or is it only other Africans with cameras, or do they also do that with tourists that that are outside of Africa coming in? I mean, did he detail any of that information?
Okay, so if what I can say about that is, you know, I at first I didn't really understand what was going on. I was like, ah, these people they travel to Ghana and we are so nice to them, like we treat them well. We do all those kind of good things to these people. So why is it that if you've seen us with a camera and we are telling you that we are from Ghana, at least treat us in a way. And I got so annoyed and angry, and I decided to never pay attention to anyone coming from Burkina Faso by then. But I changed my mind. So later, after the events, we got to understand that Burkina Faso is a country that has gone through a lot when it comes to this bombings and this uh, terrorist attack and things. So they are very like cautious. They are very concerned when it comes to people that are not indigenous people or people from the country, and that is why I think that is why we got ourselves into that. But anyway, I wasn't that okay with how they treated us because we don't look like tourists, and we told you that we are here for this blah blah blah. It took a lot of diplomatic efforts to get us released from behind bars. Yeah.
I can imagine watching some of the Wotamina videos. Some places didn't seem like it was a quick process, so I can only imagine that it
Yeah.
took a while. Now, Arena TL says, off to get myself a mentor. I want to be better than you.
Charlie, go for it. Go for it. Okay. One thing I always say is that knowledge is not in only one person's head. Okay, you can be better and be better even than your mentor. So I wish you good luck. And if in case you need me, so you can still get in touch. Okay.
Okay, so if anybody hasn't gotten somebody else and you're looking to connect with some people, go ahead and do that. Just do it in the right way. Um, Also, I like to ask people if they can go ahead and like the video so we can get it out there a little bit more so more people can come in and get to know Nii Ayi who haven't known him already. He's got 17,000 subscribers. All his links are in the description box below. So if you haven't gotten him already, make sure that you connect with him. He's got 3 YouTube channels and I think 3 Instagrams. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah, check out all his links. He's also on Facebook. Now, the next question I have for you is when running a YouTube channel, what are some of your biggest challenges?
Oh, okay. In running a YouTube channel, one of the biggest challenge was shooting at the same time, coming out with a story at the same time, shooting yourself at the same time, having to sit behind computer for hours to shoot, to edit and post. Okay, so maybe if you go through my channel and you'll be like, okay, so these are the videos that I have. It has nothing to connect like, oh, this guy is a videographer. One thing I realized is that I love to play with angles and shoot like a professional when I'm doing video. But one thing I realized is those kind of videos that we do where we do composition, we come with angles, slow mo, cinematic kind of look, don't really get views. People don't really watch that. And I realize people are more interested in your content than trying to show your skills about video and blah blah. So I decided to keep it simple. So one of my challenge was shooting or trying to get a cinematic look on my channel, and people don't really watch. And also the number of hours you have to come and sit down to edit. A lot. There's a lot that goes into it if you use camera to shoot. And in my case, all the videos there, I shoot it alone myself. All the interviews you see, I have nobody standing behind the camera to shoot or help me with the control of the camera. Just that in some few times I had my wife to be around by then. It was my beloved, so she helped me to do some um, one or two camera handling. And I guess recently I did like I have an interview that I'll be posting very soon, which I did 3 camera works. So she was the one helping me with the camera. So one of the challenge is as I've listed, and also another challenge is that here in our country as Ghana, YouTube people are not used to YouTube, and people don't really watch much aside gossip like entertainment news about celebrities and stuff. They don't really have interest in the line of
Why?
we promoting Ghana. Because human beings always love to know things that are happening in the life of their celebrities or these
Yeah.
stars or these people. So anything about them, people rush in to watch. So if you are doing something differently from them, I remember me and AJ has to share their story, how difficult um, they went through when they started their couple channel. People weren't watching, and if you are not careful, you will give up. And if they have given up, they wouldn't have been where they are today. So it's that's one of the challenge we are facing if you are not going in the direction of entertainment and those kind of stuff. And also the next challenge is that internet here in Ghana is very expensive.
Yeah, there's a lot of places,
I'm done.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, let's see. Oh, I wanted to say hello and welcome, Mary, who just came in not too long ago. My next question for you is, who is your YouTube audience? I mean, if you can say who that is, I mean, who is your YouTube audience? Your main core of subscribers?
Okay. I think when I started my YouTube, I had no audience in mind because I'd wanted just to film, capture things, and put it down there for people to watch, and also for myself to come back and see how I look like maybe in 10 years' time, that I can reflect how I was looking like when I was younger. And also in case I have children, my children comes, they'll come and see daddy, how daddy looked like when he was in his young age and times. But things started getting serious, and and also meeting with the Maya. It looked like I had most of my audience to be people in the diaspora. So I'll say my audience are people in the diaspora, Africans in the diaspora, and some few people, I think, in Ghana and other places. But basically, it's Africans in the diaspora. Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. So, how did you get to meet Wodamaya and Miss Trudy?
Okay. I had no idea about Miss Trudy. I never knew her. I never knew her. I never um, heard of her. I've never watched a video before. It's only Wodemaya that I knew about. So I'd wanted to meet Wodemaya to help him shoot his video when he comes to Ghana. So upon meeting him, and I went there and I met Miss Judy. And I think at the first time we didn't talk because I didn't know her. Like I just greeted them, hello, hi, and that was when I met one of these great Ghanaian YouTuber called April Nego. I don't
Yeah,
know if you know about.
I know her. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I met her there, and one of my friends called Enoch, and so he's into drone shoots. Whatever has been using some of his drone footages by then when he was not having. So that's when I met him. So I was like, okay, I'm the type I love giving out and always want to contribute to people's life. So I was like, okay, it wasn't my idea to do a video with Wodemaya. The only video I did was how I met Wodemaya, and it's on my channel. So I was like, okay, Maya, you don't like pictures, and looking at your how do you call it, your Instagram, you hardly post professional pictures or nice pictures there. So let me have a photo shoot for you. And because Miss Trudy is also a Kenyan YouTuber and is in Ghana, I want her to feel at home, like have some kind of memory for the first time coming to Ghana. So I decided to take her to Independence Square and then do a few photo shoots of her. And I decided, okay, so let me video that moment and keep it down. Like it wasn't the idea, my idea to post it, but after we finished with everything, I realized no, this video was very nice, so let me post it on my channel. And I never knew who how do you call it, Miss Trudy was. I didn't know how big she was as a YouTuber. I had no, like I was relating to her as like just a new person I've met and the respect and everything. So later when we did the video, I was like, hey, what is happening? The video started getting views, like clock 1,000, clock 2,000, plus 3,000, it was going
Yeah.
10,000, like, hey. And then the comments, the comments that were coming in was so amazing. And I was like, so this is how people see it, okay. And the comments was one of the things that was encouraging me, and I love the comment that were coming. Then I realized how big Miss Trudy was and the love people have for the Maya outside Ghana. You know, one of the most disadvantaged things about you, Maya, is that Maya has a few love from Ghana, but people outside really regard him so much. So that is why I started getting the fair idea who I was dealing, and that's how I met them and we did a video together.
Okay. So
Yep.
the year of return,
Hmm, hmm.
which celebrities have you met in 2019 that came to Ghana for the year of return?
Okay. I think the stories I did on all of them, the only person I was able to meet was Conan O'Brien, the American top comedian.
Yep.
Was the guy I met because when he came to Ghana, he decided to come on McBrown's Kitchen to also cook, and we were like, this Obroni guy, what is he coming to cook? And on the show, and on the show, we refer a white scarlet skinned person as Obroni in here in Ghana. That's the name we used to call white people.
Hmm.
So And we're like, this show is not a show where we speak English or any other language apart from the local dialect. That is Chi.
Hmm.
So what? How is he going to express himself? How is he going to cook? And what is he going to cook? So like, so we don't know. It was funny at the same time. We're asking a lot of questions. So the day he came and he came to cook Ghanaian jollof, Ghana jollof. And the first time I saw Conan O'Brien, I was like, this guy is very tall, very, very tall.
Yeah.
And he's very funny, very funny, very funny. I had some couple of pictures with him. And I'm the type I don't like to show off and I don't want pressure. So I think I never posted some of the pictures and videos till I think like 6 months or later before I edited that video and posted on my channel. So I think he was the only person I met in person, like us. And the rest, we just did a cover story of them, and then boom, that was it. And
Okay. Yeah.
also, I've forgotten. And then this guy, he came with Conan O'Brien came with
Sam Richardson.
Sam Richardson. Yeah, Sam Richardson,
Yeah.
who gave me a shout out on my channel, which sometimes I use it on my video. He's such a lovely guy and very good, cool guy. So these are the two people I met so far for the year of return.
Yeah, it's very common in the States on a lot of those shows, whether they're comedy or not. A celebrity or a musician will come up and it'll be a cooking segment. You know, they'll invite a cook on there and they'll pretend like they're knowing how to learn how to cook. You know, it's quite common over here. So yeah, I could see that being kind of new over there if you guys haven't done that before.
Oh, okay, all right, okay.
Okay, so we're about to wrap up here. So would you? I mean,
Okay.
actually, what would you like the audience to know about you that we have not already covered in the previous questions?
Okay, I think aside my photography life and stuff, I do video as well, and I'm trying to extend my service outside Ghana to other African countries. And a time is coming, I'll be traveling around Africa, and I would love to meet a lot of people. But I think I've said everything about me. Aside that, unless maybe there's any question for me to answer. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. If anybody has any last minute questions, go ahead and pop them in the chat, and he can go ahead and answer those. I really appreciate your work. What you
Thank
do,
you
you
so
know,
much.
the stuff you make in Africa with your photographs is great. And I really appreciate, you know, you, Michael Kunke, and quite a few others. A lot of photographers in Ghana, a lot of photographers in Kenya, in both countries. I noticed that are on YouTube. So, but y'all are doing a great job, and keep making stuff in Africa and producing it there, and telling the story the African way from Africans
Thank you so
is the best way, I think. And I really appreciate everybody coming in to watch the
yeah.
show. And again, all his information, if you haven't gotten with them already, for the people just coming in or the people coming in later, all his information is down in the description box, as well as his phone number. If you're going to Ghana and you need a tour guide or you need a photographer, he's also doing drone services. Is that correct? You said behind the scenes you're doing drones now? Or
Yeah, yes, yes, yes.
okay. So he
Yes,
also
yes,
had,
I do that.
okay, so he has capability of drone services. If you're in Ghana, Nii Ayi and I'm sure his wife are two people that you would want to hire and do some work for you if you wanted to tour the country. So it doesn't look like anybody's got any last minute questions. So thank you very much for coming in. I see your picture is
Okay.
froze, but that's okay. And again, this is Saturday, 27 June, 2020. Thank you very much, and we're out.
Okay. Okay, I would like to say something for the last so that we go. I just
Sure.
want to thank everyone who came here, especially my people who came also to support me from Ghana, and some of the guys that I know out there. I say thank you so much for being um, supportive to my channel and everything about me. And I say God bless you all. Okay, keep it safe and be safe out there.